quick intro. Sorry the lighting. I just wanted to tell you about the heat and feed. I hope you enjoy it. Also, it has a little bit of sealing rods together. Good practice. Learn it, and glass is your oyster. Have a good one. Click like, click subscribe, and oh yeah, tell somebody about it.
If I get any closer to this thing, I believe I'm gonna melt the camera. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever you like to watch. That's the great thing about YouTube. There are many times and many places that you can watch this. Okay, now of course, when you want it to light, it's not going to. There we go. And again, I've got my camera so close to the torch. I'm going to see if I can work with it without it driving me crazy or knocking me in the head 15 times. Um, One of the things I did a while back, or a couple of videos, I'm going to do a couple of things here today. One of them is I'm going to make a tree. But first things first. One of the things I talked about was heat and feed. And the way you can practice this is take a thicker rod, this is 8 mil, and pull it down to 5 if you want to try to get that thickness, or even thinner. But when you first start, it'll probably look like a thin, a thick, another thin. It might get a little, gnarly because you're not pulling straight or whatever. Um, but the idea is to heat up the glass evenly, and as you turn it back and forth, you pull it evenly. And you keep drawing the same thickness all the way around. Sorry about the earthquakes and shakes. Turns out my camera angles and stuff, the cords were in my own way, and they still are. But we'll see what we can do. Again, the one I have in my left hand, is actually one of my heat and feeds. It's brought out into about 4 mil, and as you can see, it's pretty consistent. Unless you looked at like the ends or somewhere near the ends, you'll see the thickness is pretty much even. Okay? Again, what you're trying to do is start heating a piece of glass. You can make it a cold weld and start pulling and try to get and keep turning and pull evenly so that it continues to pull evenly and the thickness becomes even. And again, you can see just how a little bit of a thickness and thinness go on, but it's through practice and this heat and feed that you'll be doing a lot of glass work, lace work, figurines, whatever. It's one of the things I liked about the glass medium. I was a pencil artist. Before that I got into glass, pencil was my medium. It was my, passion. But the worst thing about it was I had to do like 5 or 10 sketch lines to make one straight line. The thing I love about glass is it makes the straight lines for you without any trouble. Another thing that you can learn and practice on are welding or welding short ends together. Got a piece of plastic or something on there. Ah, okay. And this is where okay, pull a little tip off here and go again. A little dirty. I was watching a Bob Snodgrass video today. It was at a it was a YouTube video that I watched. It was pretty cool. He just made some tubing basically, fuming it with silver, which was pretty neat. Now again, when you put two pieces together, you want to get that orange color and let them flow. And learning how to roll it back and forth in your fingers, maybe pulling it a little bit. My welds are not perfect, but it gets them together, and that's where you can also learn your welds or fusing the two pieces of glass together, because you have to continually put glass together at the torch. And learning how to make it even all the way around, make it so it flows together, is very important. See, now watch. I'm putting these two together. Let it flow and roll it back and forth. And then after you finish, you can set it somewhere straight up, and it does a good job for it. Okay. Now, let me, even smaller ones, thinner ones. You can practice on those too. They're quicker, they're easier, and you can just boom. I use a lot of short, thin punties for a lot of my work. I like taking it down to the nub if you haven't noticed. Quick and easy. I went through heat and feed. I went through sealing and bringing it together. Now, I'm going to go not completely off, but I'll be back in just a